My God, what happened?
As we saw over the weekend, a barrage of gunfire hit parade goers on the 4th of July in Highland Park, Illinois. The gunman, as you heard, was reeling off. They said 60 shots in just those that minute or so there. As folks were out celebrating freedom and independence. Here's another shot of that freedom and independence that happened that day. Children recording gunfire and people dying. He's amazed that he even got that footage. There was more folks run down the street, but there was one more shot of this, and it's a little bit poetic when it comes to America and the state of the country right now. As the band played, they had no idea what was going on. Let's watch this third video. The suspect in the shooting, his name is Robert Bobby Cremo III. The Highland Park police posted up this mugshot of him. There's a lot of details and background on this guy you guys will be hearing about throughout the day and the rest of the week, I'm sure. But just for this purpose of what happened here, there he is. He has a bit of a background online, as you could tell, and that's a lot of things happen with these folks these days. But one other part about this that just angered me, because I want to go through the full slate of how this all went down. Because right before the shooting happened, on the morning of the 4th of July, the NRA has to say something about how guns are a part of the 4th of July, except they weren't prepared for it to be the way it was actually a part of our 4th of July this year. First, let's look at a screenshot of their tweet here, and then we're gonna play the video of what was behind that. They said, "Happy 4th, we're a country because of brave souls with guns who valued and fought for freedom and liberty." That's the reasons why that we are a country, and this is the reasons why they post things like this. Let's watch what they added to that tweet.
The only reason you're celebrating Independence Day is because citizens were armed. Happy 4th of July from the National Rifle Association of America.
Okay. So before you jump in, Brett, a few details. I didn't get to this in top, but in case you guys missed any of this that happened and the victims that were involved, there were 6 people dead and 24 wounded in yet another mass shooting in America after a shooting at the 4th of July parade in this Chicago suburb. The attack was in the affluent town of Highland Park and disrupted the annual parade that celebrates the American independence just after it began at 10 o'clock in the morning. It brought a scene of blood-soaked carnage to one that usually features flags, floats, and marching bands, as you still also saw. And lastly, Lake County Major Crime Task Force spokesman Christopher Covelli said at a news conference that the gunman apparently opened fire on parade goers from a rooftop of a business using a high-powered rifle that was recovered at the scene. Apparently, Brett, there was a ladder that accessed the roof of this building, so he got a bird's eye view like an assassin and just started shooting down at innocent folks.
So much about what you've played is terrifying. I mean, we can go through all the things that we saw, but one that really stuck out to me is the strangeness of seeing a kid film a mass shooting and not only be kind of terrified, but it wasn't actually like full on terror. He was saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe I recorded it." Which is just a snapshot. It makes me feel like I'm 800 years old, where I'm like, the kids today, I'm sad that they have to go through this. I'm sad that this is so normalized. And it's just so strange that like the thing that he's shouting as he's running away from a hail of gunfire is, "I can't believe I was recording that," kind of a neat. It's insane.
It's not surprising that he was witnessing a mass shooting. He was surprised that he actually was recording while it happened. Can't believe that happened. Not the shooting. He can't believe he got it.
And for those people, like I've been to Highland Park, I have some friends from Highland Park. Like this is, if you've seen like Risky Business, like the John Hughes movies, where this isn't like Chicago that, people on the right wing are always like, Chicago, it's a nightmare of violence and murder. It's like, this is rich John Hughes suburbs. Like this is 16 Candles Risky Business territory. The North Suburbs is what they call it. And it's just a happy little bucolic, like what the right wing would want all of America to be if they were, they were advertising what they want their ideal society to be. It's a very closed off, rich suburb.
And which maybe we'll please, I don't know what I'm about to say it, but we'll push that narrative to understand as people keep talking about, Chicago, LA, and New York are the problems in the country with the gun violence, because that's what gets people's mind to go straight to minorities, and they're the ones pulling off all the gun violence. And by the way, who cares if they die by gun violence? That's not us. But when it comes to communities like this, I was going to say foolishly, well, then it'll make more people pay attention and actually think we should do something about it. Come on, bro. Last thought on this though. Cremo, who was that suspected shooter there that we put up there, he was arrested 8 hours later by police without any incident, without any shooting, but they did arrest him, bring him in. He was all over the place. It was a manhunt, as you could tell, as you could imagine. They went across the entire city. They were banging on doors all over the suburbs looking for him. They did find him, and he's been arrested.